Have you ever felt burned out but continued working despite that because you did not have time to stop? If yes, then pause, breathe, and listen to why being under constant stress might not serve you well in the long run. Chronic stress is a silent killer. Stress is defined as an involuntary physical and psychological response to a perceived threat or stressor. If persistent, it can weaken your immune system and induce cardiovascular problems, obesity, diet-related problems, some types of cancer, and perhaps even premature death. According to the American Institute of Stress, about 33% of people feel extreme stress and 77% experience stress that affects their physical health. When you encounter a stressor, like meeting a tight deadline, your adrenal glands secrete hormones like adrenaline and cortisol which travel to your heart and increase your heart rate. Your sympathetic nervous system activates and leads to an increase in blood pressure. This is commonly known as the fight or flight response. When humans were hunter-gatherers, this mechanism helped them survive threats like other predators. Today, stressors like work-related competition, overtime, and never-ending to-do lists have replaced the predators. The type, quantity, and frequency of stressors have changed but the body's reaction has not. Your body is constantly living in the fight or flight mode which is detrimental to your physical health in the long run. Cortisol can cause the inner lining of blood vessels, the endothelium, to function abnormally. This can trigger cholesterol plaque buildup in arteries and atherosclerosis. A 2008 study conducted by Harvard researchers revealed that the amygdala, which plays an important role in the fight or flight response, sends signals to the bone marrow to generate extra white blood cells when under stress. This causes inflammation of the arteries which is related to heart attacks and strokes. Cortisol can also make you crave carbs more than usual. This could lead to developing more deep belly fat which releases cytokines and increases the risk of heart diseases. Thus, you are at high risk for heart attack and stroke if you experience chronic stress. Even more so if you are a woman in your 50s because postmenopausal women are at greater risk for the effects of stress on the heart. This is why researchers have emphasized that as a risk factor, stress could be as damaging as smoking or high blood pressure. Stress also affects your susceptibility of contracting viral diseases. How do you contract the common cold? Mere exposure to the virus does not give you the cold. The virus must evade the immune system and successfully infect your body. Stress facilitates this process of invasion by weakening your immune system. The immune response called cell-mediated immunity clears viral infections from the body. Interestingly, stress is correlated with the suppression of cell-mediated immunity. A study conducted in 1998 by PsychNet showed that those who had chronic stress for at least 1 month were more likely to get the common cold than those who experienced shorter duration of stress. Chronic stress not only increases your susceptibility to new viral infections but can also make you more vulnerable to the reactivation of latent viruses, especially herpes virus. The suppression of your immunity can make you more vulnerable to ailments which in turn can cause physical stress ulcers. Now that you know the dangers of chronic stress and how it is related to your physical health, do not let society romanticize burnout. Instead, start taking charge of your own health. Stress will always be there. No matter what you do, you will always have a dozen mails to send, family problems, and a demanding social life. But, what you can do is effectively deal with stress. Remember, stress is not a random emotion but a response to threats in your life. Do not trivialize it and start bringing about more balance in your life.
To know more about the subject log, connect with a therapist or lawyer through the United We Care website or app. Easy access to a host of professionals working just to make happiness your first priority.